Thank you. Well, WENY News has continuing coverage of a story we first brought you last night at 11. Neighbors in one area of Southport sounded off in front of the town board, asking for something to be done about a local mobile home park.
And our very own Max Coben has been following the story, and Max joins us live in the studio to tell us about some of their concerns. Max.
Good evening, Nick and Renata. Tuesday night's meeting was filled with story after story sharing how ongoing issues at Cherry Lane Park is affecting residents and neighbors.
Which tenant himself told me that that mobile home was infested with mice and cockroaches. I've seen no exterminator over there doing anything. There's the trash from Lot 7. That's the mattress I sent you in the email that still sits there. I'm assuming there was probably cockroaches in that too, and they're just...
Tina Moore was just one Southport resident sounding the alarm about the state of Cherry Lane Park on Sherman Avenue. Moore says over the years she lived nearby and she has witnessed fires, crime, health and safety issues, and trailers even getting condemned. She said promises by an attorney for the property owner to make improvements have, quote, fallen short. She called on the town supervisor to come up with a plan to address the problems.
I think a lot of your reasonings for being here today with the past agreement. In the past agreement, you had talked about if you didn't meet those requirements, almost as though that you wouldn't disagree with the town to move forward to closing the park down or revoking the license.
At a May 9th town board meeting, officials confirmed the park's operating permit expired at the end of 2022. Last night, neighbors demanded to know why the park is still allowed to operate.
I have never had a rodent problem like I do this year. You guys were supposed to shut this place down by December. Oh, it's June. Joe, you lied to all of us. You all did. The only one that has been honest with us is Mr. Hurley.
Board member Dan Hurley shared his concern for Cherry Lane Park because it is still operating after being provided chance time and time again for the property to be fixed.
I cannot understand why we have dragged this out for another 6 months without coming to a decision or issuing a permit or not. The neighbors of this park deserve answers. They have relied on us to be responsible in our governance. I have no reason to believe the current owners have any interest in serious improvements, or that would have been demonstrated during the one-year agreement.
Numerous trailers. They were going to be completely gutted, renovated, and when finished, per Mr. Bruno's words, they were going to look like a place that somebody would want to live in. None of that was done.
There were a number of things in that agreement that we did. There were some that we weren't able to accomplish. The primary one that we were not able to accomplish was having the contractor come in and renovate.
And ramifications such that if you don't meet these milestones, that by de facto, the park is going to close.
One resident spoke up about her significant other's experience owning a trailer in Cherry Lane Park. She said they recently were asked to sign a new rules and regulations for the park and were then served a 30-day eviction notice for violating the rules. She said after getting the notice, her partner suffered a medical emergency.
I've been there for 10 years. My significant other's been there for 12. That night when we were served with that paper, my significant other had a heart attack. Okay? So I'm trying to find out what's going to happen at the end of the month.
Cole explained she had called the property manager for the park, but they are unresponsive.
Nobody's returning our calls. And I'm just concerned because now he had a stroke. He just had a heart attack 2 weeks ago. And he's in a wheelchair.
Out of all the trailers on the property, only 11 are currently occupied. Several are condemned. Board member Dan Williams spoke, saying he is in favor of removing the condemned units, but also remodeling the others. He said the park should have the opportunity to make the necessary improvements.
I feel that those should be removed as quickly as possible. What we're looking at is the potential for, as of October 31st, that there'll only be 6 tenants there. Financially, it's not going to make sense for them to continue the operation without cleaning it up.
No action was taken regarding Cherry Lane Park at last night's meeting, and WENY News is continuing to follow this story and will bring you any new developments as they happen.